Hello, this is not a spring chicken. I'm just curious. Have you been to the bank lately? I know the president's telling us, don't worry, your money's safe. It is insured by the government. Well, that is true. But how long does it take before we can get our money out? So, by going to the bank, do we cause more problems or not? Well, for now, we'll bring Oldecam on for comments on the headlines of today. Market turmoil overshadows Federal Reserve's monetary outlook.
Well, yeah, I mean, they say the banking system is sound. The only problem is tell that to the 10,000 people at IndyMac that aren't going to get their money back.
China says weapon sales to Sudan were only on small scale.
Yeah, but what's their idea of small scale?
Speculation swirls over Obama and McCain VP candidates.
Well, okay, right now it's Bobby Jingle and Richardson. I mean, it
hasn't been announced.
But they're all over television.
Husband of dead Fort Bragg Army nurse charged with murder.
Yeah, I mean, basically what they did was they said there's evidence there that he did it. The place burned. I don't think there's a lot of evidence available.
Congress wants only U.S.-made flags to fly on federal property.
Well, that's an oxymoron. They're willing to sell defense contracts to countries outside of this country, but they want to have American flags flying over federal property.
Isn't that patriotic? You can't afford not to.
That's what they continually say about the environment. You can't afford not to. Well, if you can't afford to, you can certainly can't afford not to. That's the way it works. It costs money to be environmental.
So stay tuned on our feature on composting.
Right.
Is Area 51 a military facility for hiding the unexplained?
Well, everybody in the world knows it is, and the government keeps telling you. I mean, they got these all around the facility. They tell you they'll shoot you if you get over, so they're hiding something in there.
But isn't that standard?
No.
Oh.
I mean, you can walk onto military bases all over the countryside.
Committee says fuzzy memories hurt Tillman probe.
Well, yeah, you get a fuzzy memory if it kind of caused you to go to jail.
Bush lifts oil drilling ban and wants Congress to act.
And they said there is now, because so many, he did this because so many Democratic congressmen went home and got blasted by their constituents. There is now a bipartisan effort to see what can be done. But it doesn't make any difference. Congress knows that if they pass it, that the environmentalists will go to court and stop it. So you're looking for years in the future before they'll even begin to think about it.
Isn't that most of the problem anyway?
It's the environmentalists. They stop it everywhere. They got, of the 62 million acres in leases they have already, virtually every time they try to drill a new well, they have to go through environmental impact reports. They got to go through this. It can take years just to get one well dug on a place they already have a lease.
Report: government tardy securing radioactive material.
What's new?
Pope welcomes youth world pilgrims to Australia.
I know that's the Pope thing. Ever since the last Pope, ever since a few years ago, all the popes have to have these youth conferences, which basically is just a time for young people to go out and have a good time with the Pope's blessing.
Is that what that is?
That's right.
I thought it was for the future of all Catholics.
It's basically the young people can go out and party and say the Pope approved it.
Mystery insect bugging experts at London Museum.
I mean, that's a great museum where they got the best entomologists in the world trying to figure out what this bug is.
Wisconsin woman accused of placing dead rat in food.
Well, okay, back when I was young, they used to do that. They'd have little containers full of bugs. They pour them on your food after you get done eating and say there was bugs in it. Now, the rats.
That was in Victoria.
Yeah, that's how long ago that's being done.
Dubai detains 79 for indecent behavior on beaches.
Well, we're talking that not a spring chick would be in trouble in Dubai.
Just wearing a bikini? This isn't even a little one.
I know. If you wore your really nice bikinis, this is enough to get you thrown in a jail cell right now.
Ooh. Obama tells NAACP blacks must take responsibility.
Well, he's doing that simply because he thinks it resonates with those red state, hooligans that he simply wants now that he's infuriated all of them.
U.S. beer drinkers could toast Anheuser takeover.
bet on it. You tell me a takeover of a business that ever resulted in a better product or lower prices.
Yeah, no matter what their ad says in the newspaper. Obama slams New Yorker portrayal.
Yeah, basically, it was done. It was done with Obama's approval, with him in a turban and his wife as a terrorist, because they said it was basically, the New Yorker said it was satirical, trying to show what the right thinks of Obama. No, Obama wants the issue to be able to claim racism. The New Yorker basically supports him 100%, so you know that was not done without his approval.
Sudan president charged with genocide in Darfur.
Try to get him out of the country to try him.
3 plead to charges in plot that changed air travel.
Oh yeah, they're the ones that dreamed up the explosives in the drinks. That's why you can't bring drinks aboard planes anymore.
Oh, deadly attack on U.S. base sends warning signal.
Yeah, that basically the Taliban knows that no matter what happens, no matter who the president is, we're going to be leaving the Muslim world within the next 2 years, totally.
Belgian premier offers resignation amid deadlock.
Well, yeah, I mean that's how it's done in countries with parliaments. Is that if they lose a vote of confidence, which means they put up something they want passed and it doesn't pass, then everybody resigns and have a new election.
Oh.
Basically, you can have an election 12 times a year in most of these countries.
Repeal would let out-of-state gays marry in Massachusetts.
Yeah, and they told the legislature in Massachusetts this was going to happen. And the legislature refuses. They refuse to let the amendment of the people come up for a vote, and now they're basically going to be like California.
Obama would send 2 more brigades to Afghanistan.
He wants to take the troops that are in Iraq and go to Afghanistan for a surge, which as of a few hours ago, he said the surge was a horrible mistake in Iraq. It just made things worse. Now he wants to take troops from Iraq to Afghanistan and to make things worse.
Oh. Born before computers, McCain is too old to some.
Oh, I mean, actually, McCain is what you call a caretaker president. If he's elected, he's there for 1 term, and whoever he has as his vice president is expected succeeding, which isn't going to happen. You're going to have a Democrat the next time around, no matter what.
Raytheon nabs $194.5 million in foreign sales for Patriot.
Yeah, all of these countries that are afraid of the Iranian missiles.
Court finds Mitsubishi and 3 former execs guilty.
Well, yeah, they sort of pocketed lots of money.
China says energy efficiency improving.
Yeah, it's their experts that are telling you that. I mean, the country is so crud with, pollution. They don't have a clue about energy efficiency in China at the moment.
Fannie and Freddie Lifeline puts taxpayers on the hook.
That's right. I mean, okay, the United States, the Treasury Department is going to have to get permission to buy stock in the 2 organizations. That money comes from the taxpayers, folks.
So before, when the taxpayers didn't want to help because, they were helping people's homes that, they're in the same boat.
That's right. Yeah. Look, everybody that doesn't have a mortgage problem will soon be in the same boat as the people that do.
NASA engineers work on alternative moon rocket.
Well, they're trying to find something that gives a better propulsion than what they currently have.
Xbox 360 to stream Netflix movies.
Basically it's another ridiculous thing because they're not going to use that. People are not going to do. We've seen the video players connected to the thing. Nobody uses. Gamers do not use their consoles to look at movies. It's considered sacrilegious to them to do that.
And Apple sells 1 million iPhones in first 3 days.
Which is not that big a deal. They could sell, my old phone I got in my pocket sold that many.
A Monty Bubbleism from the Mark Twain of the Animal Kingdom.
It's always easier to run than it is to stand and fight.